taking a stand against R. Kelly, someone who's been termed the king of R&B and is loved by many, has not been easy. I decided after a great deal of thought that I should speak my truth, because it is time I stand up for myself. I trusted him and he betrayed my trust. Once I recognized my worth, I knew I had to walk away. No woman should be victim shamed, harassed, or retaliated against because she assured her rights and spoke her truth. Robert Kelly, the Faith Rogers you knew, that you met when I was 19 years old, no longer exists. She was vulnerable and impressionable. The 21-year-old Faith Rogers you're seeing now is much wiser and much stronger. I have learned not to ignore the signs of abuse, manipulation, or intimidation. I also have a message for young women who have heard my story. Please take heed and precaution when involving yourself in a relationship. Also, if you're abused, don't be afraid to acknowledge it, and don't be afraid to report it. There is absolutely no excuse for abuse, and no one deserves to be afraid. Please recognize that any man who truly loves you will not abuse you. If you are in a relationship with someone who is a celebrity or someone you think has much more power than you, please understand that your life has just as much value and that you deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. I will never allow myself to be disrespected, and neither should you. Thank you.
My daughter is Faith Rogers. For the past 9 months, my husband and I have received threats and attempts to intimidate us. Our character has also been defamed. We have received threats in the media and have received threatening phone calls and text messages. Although these threats were intended to cause us fear and to back down, it has only made us stronger. We will not back down. R. Kelly's predatory behavior has destroyed the lives and the innocence of many women for the past 2 decades. His behavior has altered the lives not only of his victims, but their families as well. We encourage those who are still afraid to speak out to come forward. You are not alone, and your voice matters. Together, we are stronger. It is very upsetting to see Robert Kelly's arrogant and defiant attitude towards the victims that have come forward against him. He has said he has injected the world with his music, and the world loves R. Kelly. And he thinks his supporters will stick with him no matter how much comes out about his predatory behavior. We urge all those who may like R. Kelly's music to think about their young daughters and ask themselves the following questions. Is this someone that I really want to support? Can I separate the music from the man? Can I ignore what he has done to many of his victims? We love and support Faith Rogers. The time is up for Robert Sylvester Kelly, and we urge you to take a stand and mute R. Kelly. Thank you.
Good morning. Since we filed the civil suit against Mr. Kelly in New York Supreme Court, Faith Rogers has been subjected to online bullying, harassment, victim shaming, retaliation, and receiving threats. This is unacceptable. We are unbothered, and we will not back down. We will be relentless in our fight to make sure that Faith Rogers is not silenced and that Robert Kelly is brought to justice.
Okay, so why don't you sit here? Because you're going to be taking questions too.
All right. Faith and Lydia and I will take questions. Yes. And could you speak, as loudly enough so everybody can hear the question? I'll also try to repeat it if only I can hear it.
Okay, thank you. His lawyers have made statements saying the women who lived with him were consenting adults of sound mind, all of that. What's the response to that argument?
Okay. Whether or not someone was an adult is irrelevant if in fact that person has evidence that they were abused. Not everyone who's made allegations against Mr. Kelly were adults at the time that they allege that he abused them. Faith was an adult, young adult. But that is not an excuse, nor is it a justification. So I think that is not relevant. I will say I do represent someone who is not here and whom I will not name. One of the three that I represent was not an adult at the time that she met him. But that's all I'm going to say about her right now because she's not here.
Does her case fall within the statute of limitations, the one that you're saying is underage?
Yeah, I thank you for your question, but I'm not going to make any other comments about her allegations,
So again,
or any potential case that she may have, and she hasn't filed one yet.
Is she saying she was underage when she had sex with R. Kelly?
I'm sorry, I have no further comment about the person that I represent who is not present, or her allegations.
I have a question for Faye.
Oh, all right, okay, and then we'll take your question.
Oh,
All right,
she
yeah.
asked it.
Question for Faith?
We spoke back in May and you talked
Okay,
about
you want to sit
now-
here so you can,
Sure.
everybody can hear your answer? Okay.
When we spoke back in May, you talked about doing things that you didn't want to do because you felt like you had to do them.
Right.
When you say now that you are warning young girls to take heed and caution, what do you mean by that?
When I say take precaution, that means if you hear my story, listen to what I'm saying, and if you run into somebody who falls underneath that same category, has the same patterns, go the other way.
When's the last time you had a conversation with R. Kelly?
Last year.
When?
Well, we can't go into dates and times right now, but
Can you tell us what that conversation was?
I can just tell you the conversation was had last year, and I'm not commenting on it anymore.
And what would you say to him if he's watching right now?
Time's up.
okay. Thank you. Another question for Faith?
Can you talk about how you met R. Kelly?
Yeah, I think she's not going to talk about how she met him or
How long
any statement that she made, on Lifetime. We're really here today about the allegation of retaliation and threats. So we would respectfully refer you to any prior interview she's done. If you want to email me some questions afterwards, we can see if we can get those
Can
answered.
we ask just how Dominique is doing?
Okay, wait, let me just take that question over there, and then we'll come back.
In the so-called intimidation letter that he sent.
Yes, the letter, she's referring to the letter which I referenced, and a copy of which you have
Yes.
from Mr. Kelly, yes.
Yes. In what he is suggesting he will do if she presses forward with her allegations, isn't that what she would have to
Okay. Why don't you move here, and do you want to deal with it, or do you want me to answer it? Okay. First of all, what he said about calling 10 male witnesses or potential witnesses, there's something called the Rape Shield Law that in many states would not allow others who are alleged to have engaged in sexual activity with the plaintiff to be called as witnesses, unless somehow they are relevant to the case and their testimony is more probative than prejudicial. So I see this as a threat, and that's the way we take it. By the way, again, we have no information that this was in fact ever filed. Is that correct, Lydia?
That's correct.
All right.
So Ms. Rogers is alleging she was raped?
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Ms. Rogers is alleging she was raped?
You know, I will let the lawsuit speak for itself.
And can we ask how Dominique is doing? I know you
I'm
said-
sorry, I can't hear.
Can we ask how Dominique is doing? She was also featured in that docuseries.
I think Michelle is not going to be answering any other questions. Any questions today, nor is Kelly going to be answering any questions. But thank you for it. Yes?
So when you talk about harassment and intimidation, did it only come in the form of this letter that you had in the packet, or were there other forms?
It's everything that we have previously indicated at this press conference today. But that's a specific example which bears his signature, at least according to him. That's his.
All right, looks like we lost that shot there, but it was a really fascinating press conference there with Gloria Allred and some accusers.